Odu IworiOgbe. So today I want to briefly revisit a conversation that we had about Ifa and truth. It is absolutely certain that Ifa is truth. A variety of verses of Ifa will, solidify that claim. Ifa is truth. But even though that is a correct statement, it's a valid statement, it's also problematic because what we tend to do is we rest on truth as factual. We rest on truth as some kind of information. It's a data-driven claim, right? So when we do that, then we're basically reducing the role of the babalawo down to that of a fortune teller. And if you can sit down with the babalawo and he tells you lots of factual information about your life or your neighbor's life or your son's life, your daughter's life, your husband's life, your wife's life, they can give you, factual information, then you're going to say that, yeah, Ifa is the truth, right? And that's enough. Then you make the sacrifice and, you expect that it's going to affect all those different areas of your life that you were given advice on, right? Clearly, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing bad about that. But that isn't what Ifa is really about. When we say Ifa is truth, that's not what we're talking about. When we talk about a babalawo, that's not what we're talking about. The babalawo, more so than truth, is dealing with the reality. And the reality is, you got to get the chicken pox. Reality is, you've got to get the measles. The reality is, you have to be rejected. The reality is, you have to take a loss. The reality is that you have to sacrifice everything that you have in order to develop into everything that you can become. This is why they say, the soul rejoices for what the body has lost. You have to sacrifice everything who you are in order to evolve and transform into what you're destined to become. That's the reality. Okay, so no amount of information and sacrifice is supposed to remove the reality from your experience, if that reality is necessary for you to satisfy your destiny. The babalawo is supposed to facilitate that process. So your greatest fears, your greatest vulnerabilities, your greatest contradiction, your greatest weaknesses, those are the prime opportunities for you to rediscover and reinvent yourself in a way that's truly aligned with your destiny. You don't get that information to wipe it away. You don't make the sacrifice just to prevent those things from happening. Okay? Because if you do so, now you're defying the reality of your life. You're denying the reality of your destiny. Okay? So the work that I do is to help facilitate your journey. Is to help facilitate the realization of your destiny, for you to come into real direct contact with the reality of what your prenatal choice was, so that you can accept what is inevitable. And of course, my favorite analogy is the butterfly. You got a caterpillar who crawls around, and the caterpillar, puts itself into this cocoon, and the caterpillar has to dissolve. He has to lose complete form. He has to sacrifice everything of what he is and his shape and everything he knows about existence, in order to then rearrange himself and emerge from the cocoon with wings and become a butterfly. That's what we're here to do. That's our role as babalawo, to help facilitate your complete and total transformation. Not to give you more and more sacrifices and tricks and whistles and all kinds of stuff to keep you, safe and comfortable in the world and the life that you have conceptualized and are trying to project out into the world at all costs. Right? I see so many people who are doing everything, and they come to the babalawo and they're not satisfied until they meet somebody who's going to tell them everything that they need to do to keep doing exactly what they're doing in a bigger way. And that isn't what destiny is about. Okay? So if you are ready to give up being a caterpillar so that you can transform into a butterfly, that is when you consult Ifa. Aboro aboye, aboshishen.